Alright there guys, and welcome to 2025, a year in review. As always, for those who are not aware of what this is, basically this is the yearly recap video I do on the final day of every year and I've been doing this since 2018, where we just recap things that have been going on this year, whether it's about me or the channel. So, before we get into it though, I have a quick thing to mention. From January until May of this year, I was genuinely considering not even doing this video this year. But here we are, so clearly I changed my mind at some point. As always, I have got my trusty sheet of topics to talk about for this year. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off as we always do, in January, I went to go and see the third Sonic the Hedgehog movie with Che. And it was a great movie, definitely the best of the three. And I made a YouTube short about it a few days later after seeing it, and that was enough to gain us another subscriber to the channel, hitting our first milestone of the year, being 210 subscribers since we started the year on 209. Now, for February, March, and April, I have the exact same thing written down because not a lot happened in those months. The only noteworthy thing for me is I spent some time with Ash. Although in the April one, she showed me a Pokemon card shop that had opened up, and I've thought about doing a Pokemon card opening video for the last 5 years or so, and I've still just never decided to just go and buy some Pokemon cards to unopen them for a video. I've thought about it for the last 5 years and I've just never gone through with doing it. And the idea of that video would be seeing how many Pokemon I actually know from the cards that I open. That would be the whole point of the video. But into May. So in May, can't believe we're already in May and we're only 3 minutes in. Don't worry, we've got longer months to talk about than May, than the ones we've talked about so far. So in May, I decided that I was going to give this channel a little break. Something I hadn't done since 2021. So there were a couple of reasons why I decided to do this. The first one being main channel videos were flopping hard around that time. Plenty of videos were getting way less views than I was expecting, and I didn't understand why. So it was a little bit demoralizing to have videos performing so terribly when I've had videos earlier on in the year that performed so well. And the second reason why is that I decided to do this is because I wanted to give my second channel a bit of attention, because I hadn't actually posted a video on the second channel since January of 2024. Over a year, that channel just had nothing. So in May, I gave some attention to the second channel and got a few videos out on it. After that, and funnily enough, just as the main channel went on its break, literally within a day or so of me deciding to take a break from the main channel for the month of May, we hit our second milestone of the year, 215 subscribers. When that happened, I thought, of course, Of course, this wouldn't have happened like a week ago. No, of course, as soon as I put the main channel on a break, that's when it decides, now we'll give him a new milestone to make him think about, is he going to still go on the break from the main channel? Well, I did. Whilst on that break, I decided to give the main channel a small bit of a rebrand. You might have seen. I decided that the channel needed a little bit of a rebrand. So the channel's name and profile picture both were changed. The profile picture was changed from Miku Nakano from the Quintuplets to Seiha Shunji from the Shunji family children. I know this does not mean my ever-dying love for Miku Nakano has gone anywhere. Of course it hasn't. I just felt I'd had that profile picture for 4 years. I just thought it was about ready for a change. And the reasoning behind the name, not the name change, but what my channel is now called, the Smith Nerds, that's of course the channel name now. A couple of the reasons for why I decided to go with that name. Basically, the first one being that the idea of the channel is the Smith Nerds Out, but that seems too long of a name for the channel, because that's what my videos are, essentially, aren't they? Me nerding out about whatever topic I'm talking about, whether it's a game, movie, anime, whatever. And partly also because of the COD Zombies YouTuber, The Smith Plays. I had thought when I was younger, before I'd started making videos, I did like his channel name and felt that I could also have a similar name due to the fact that we both have the same last name. So that was my thinking behind that. And the channel's profile picture will be changing again as of tomorrow. Not to anything vastly different. It's still going to be an anime girl, just a different one to the one it currently is. And I think however much longer I continue making videos, every year I'll change my profile picture to a different anime girl, starting next year. Well, starting tomorrow. Okay, now that is all we have for May. On to June. So in June, the main channel made its return as I planned it to. As regular videos came return to the main channel after a month or so away from making videos. And I attended my first convention in almost 6 years. The last convention I attended was MCM Manchester Comic Con 2019. MCM barely even do events anymore. That's how long ago it is. The MCM events have been replaced by MegaCon. They're basically the exact same conventions as what they were before. They just have a new name. Like MCM Manchester is still a thing. It's just called MegaCon Manchester, but it's the same convention. It's set in the exact same, and it's in the same place as the MCM conventions were. It hasn't changed places at all. So I actually had decided that I wanted to go to this convention, I haven't actually said what the convention is. My first convention in almost 6 years that I attended was Huddersfield Get Your Geek On 2025. So I'd actually thought about wanting to go to this convention as far back as December of 2024, so a year ago now. And I attended the convention with Ash and her now former friends Morgan, Abby and Thomas. And it was a really good day. I had fun. I was there for the whole day from before the convention actually officially started. until all the events and things that happened throughout the day of the convention had finished. And I made a video showing off my haul of the convention and reviewing it. We'll be coming back to that video very, very soon. But yeah, it was a very fun day. I spent most of the day with just Ash. It was just me and her. Neither of us planned it that way. It's just what happened. And yeah, it was a very fun day, and I think maybe I will go back there again in 2026. The convention in 2026 is being held a week later than it was in 2025. So, the very end of June instead of nearly the end of June. And that's all we have for June. Now then, on to July. Now, July last year was by far the longest we talked about any month of the year in last year's year in review. And this time round, it's going to be absolutely no different. So, in July, I went to a charity run event for a hospice, which, even though the event was called a run, I didn't actually run at any point. I just walked mostly because you didn't have to run, and it was a good day out. It was very warm, which for me is a good thing. Most people would probably say most people would probably say it was too hot. I would say it wasn't. It was around what I'd want. That's the type of thing I want. Like, honestly, with it right now, it raining or being really cold and raining all the time, anyone who was moaning about the weather back when it was sunny all the time, all day, every day, from May to August, I hope you're happy with yourself, because you were asking for this. The terrible cold weather now. This is what you asked for. Should have appreciated the sun a bit more when it was out and actually warm, because the sun still comes out around this time of the year, but it doesn't make any difference. It's still really cold. Okay, rant about the weather over. So yeah, it was a fun event. There were a lot of people there. I think maybe over 1,000 people attended this event. It was a fairly big event for what it was, and I had fun. But now then, oh boy. Well, this is going to be an interesting one. So, the channel actually dipped back below 215 subscribers in July. After gaining a few, it lost even more. Because out of absolutely nowhere, Ash messaged me, basically attacking me out of absolutely nowhere. There was no warning signs for this. I couldn't believe what I was reading when I first got the message. Basically, she was attacking me and demanding that I apologise to her and her now former friends Morgan and Abby for what I said about them in my Huddersfield Get Your Geek On video from June. Well, what did I say? Well, to save you the trouble of having to go and watch that video, I'll tell you. So in that video, the video is just under 25 minutes long, right? And 5 minutes of that video are me critiquing Ash's former friend, but still friend at the time, Morgan. There were 4 things I talked about in that video, and all 4 things came, and my reasoning, and all 4 of these things came from Morgan's own vlog of Get Your Geek On. His own video is where I got all the information I talked about it. There were 4 criticisms I made of him, and he addressed 3 of them. So we'll go over the 3 he addressed first, and then the one he didn't address at all. And when I say he addressed them, he commented on my video addressing them. That's why I know about this. So the first thing I said about... I'm not going to do this, I probably won't be going in order of when I said them. But the first criticism I want to bring back up is I said that he did not tag Ash in his video. Because he always tags Ash. Usually it's Abby and Ash. He always tags both of them in every single video convention vlog he does that either of those two are appearing, go to as well. He always tags them. But for some reason, in the description of his video, Abby is tagged, but Ash isn't. I felt that was a bit weird because you always tag Ash. Why have you decided to not tag her this time? His response to that was that there was a tagging problem, apparently. Now, Ash did also say this, that there was apparently a tagging problem. But even if that is true, it's still weird because I tagged Ash in my video and had no trouble with any tagging problems. And Abby also tagged Ash in her con vlog and had no trouble with it. Like, Morgan was the only person who actually had any trouble tagging Ash. Me and Abby didn't. And I even brought this up to Ash when she originally attacked me, saying that it's been 3 weeks since I posted my video. He could have gone back and retroactively tagged you in his video, and he still hasn't. I even brought that up to her at the time. So he said there was a tagging problem and that he's already talked to Ash about it. But I wasn't exactly convinced because he was the only one that didn't tag Ash. Out of me, him and Abby, he was the only one. The second thing that I said that he has addressed is I said he either purposely cut Ash out of the cosplay contest section of his vlog, or her part of the cosplay contest was just never filmed in the first place. Because in his 2024 Get Your Geek On vlog, in the cosplay contest, he films his entry and Abby's entries of the cosplay contest, but Ash's entry is nowhere to be seen. So I asked Ash about this herself, and asking her, did you even participate in the cosplay contest? And she said that she did, but she was nowhere to be seen in his vlog. So I said to her that for this year's cosplay contest, I will film the cosplay contest for your vlog. I said to her I would film it for her vlog, and that is exactly what I did. When it came to the cosplay contest, I was the one filming it for her vlog to make absolute certainty that her cosplay contest entry is filmed. And it is a good job I did do that, because for the second year in a row, at the exact same convention, Ash's cosplay contest entry was nowhere to be seen in Morgan's con vlog. Second year in a row at the exact same convention. That seemed very suspicious to me, at least when it happened, because Ash's cosplay contest entries in other convention vlogs that Morgan does appear. She does appear in the cosplay contest section of other vlogs, which is why it made no sense to me that she wasn't that her entries were not in this one. And his reasoning for this one was because he said that his boyfriend Thomas filmed the cosplay contest. Yeah, I know. I was stood behind him when I was filming it for Ash's vlog. I'm fully aware doesn't actually record the cosplay contest himself because he can't film it and be in it at the same time. I'm fully aware of that. So maybe in a way he's throwing Thomas under the bus. I don't think he really is there, but it just seemed very odd that 2 years in a row at the exact same convention, Ash's cosplay contest section is completely absent from his con vlog. Twice in a row at the same convention just seemed a little bit too much of a coincidence to actually be one. And the third thing I said that he has addressed is we went to a fast food place called Chipway. For some reason, I called it Chip Walk in my video. I don't know why I called it that. Well, because I'd forgotten what it was called, so I thought that's what it... So, basically, the staff there basically got over the course of that day, got loads of different cosplayers who were there to come in and like do some social media promo for them. And we were all more than happy to help out. Well, I say me and Thomas weren't. We just stood and watched because we weren't in cosplay. But Abby, Ash and Morgan did some helped them with some social media promo, and everyone got a free drink out of it. And in Morgan's vlog, after doing the social media promo, he starts filming and says that he endorses Chipway. And I found this... Well, I didn't find it too odd at the time, but it's like... endorsing something... him endorsing Chipway was not the problem in the first place. It was just... If you're going to endorse something, especially a place that sells food, right? Surely, and maybe I'm just old school, but surely, if you were going to endorse a fast food place that sells food, you'd actually, buy something from said place, eat it, and see if you like it, and if you do, then endorse them. But that isn't what happened. Morgan didn't buy anything from Chipway, and I guarantee you, he's never been back there since that day. He hasn't been back there in 6 months. I bet you he hasn't. It just seemed off to me. Well, why would you endorse a place that you've never actually bought something for? That would be like me endorsing McDonald's without actually buying something from there. That's essentially what it would be like. And when he addressed this, he basically said the reason he endorsed Chipway is because he wanted to support a new POC, which stands for Person of Colour, owned business. And I thought, why did I not think of that? Of course that's his reasoning. I should not be surprised in the slightest. Of course his reasoning would be something shallow like that. Because the thing is, the staff who were there on the day were lovely. Absolutely, they were lovely people. Absolutely knows it. Zero issues with the staff. They were all lovely people. But it's like Morgan only endorsed them based on their skin colour. Now, I don't know about you, but endorsing somewhere based on the skin colour of the owners isn't exactly a very morally good thing to do. That would be like me endorsing Amazon because it's owned by Jeff Bezos, who's a white man. It would be the same thing. Sure, Amazon is of course a lot much bigger, but the same point gets across. Endorsing them for a shallow reason instead of because you actually like what they sell, which should be the actual reason you endorse somewhere, especially somewhere that sells food. So yeah, Morgan endorsing something based on people's skin color. Just it just doesn't seem ethical to me. It seems very, very shallow, and you could argue, not that I am, but you could argue maybe it is a little bit racist, endorsing a place based on people's skin color. I thought we didn't do things like that. I thought we didn't do that in society anymore, positively or negatively, judging people based on skin color. But I guess for some people, it still does happen. No, I am not calling Morgan a racist at all. I'm just saying it can be seen that way. Feel free to watch his Get Your Geek On vlog and make your own mind up. So yeah, that was the third and final criticism that he actually addressed. And there was one more criticism that I made in that video that he did not address. And that criticism was basically, I said that he did not mention Ash by name once throughout the entire video. And that one literally cannot be you cannot debunk that. It is literally impossible to that is the criticism that is the one that is impossible to debunk, because everything I said is true for that one. I've watched his Get Your Geek On vlog multiple times to make absolutely certain about this, and every time I see it, he does not say he does not say Kindle Fairy, which is what Ash's channel was called at the time, or Ash her name in either. Not once throughout the whole video is Ash mentioned by name. She's always mentioned by name in every convlog he does, every one. But this one, he specifically does not mention her by name. And that one really rubbed me the wrong way, because it's like, she is supposedly one of your closest friends, and you won't even say her name in the video. He didn't say my name either, but that's fine. I'm not bothered that he didn't say my name. I'm used to people forgetting that I even exist. But it really rubbed me the wrong way that he said he did not mention Ash by name at any point in the video. And clearly what I said in that video really got under his skin, because not only did he comment on my video himself, he got all of his well, not all, but he got people from his friend group to attack me. Ash, of course, being one of those people, and another person that he got to attack me was his friend Tavi. And Tavi wrote a really long comment on my Get Your Geek On video, which is still there. I have not deleted it. It is still there to this day. And there's a few things in that comment I want to talk about, but we'll get into that after this bit. So Morgan basically manipulated Ash into attacking me, and she was like straight up demanding I apologise to Morgan and Abby, despite the fact I never actually said anything bad about Abby. The only thing, and I brought this up to her, is I never had a bad word to say about Abby. What are you on about? And she said the part of the video where I said I don't like furries. I was like, oh yeah, that's the only thing I could possibly think of that she'd get upset at. Basically, I said in the video that I'm not a big fan of furries, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to pretend that I don't dislike furries just because Ash is friends with one. That clearly offended her way more than I thought it would, because I'm talking about furries in general, and I have been extremely consistent about my not very favourable opinion of furries, you can go back to a video on the second channel that I made back in December 2017, 8 years ago. Funny enough, back when David was still somewhat of a good person, David says in that video that people might know that I'm a furry, and my reaction when he says that is, ugh. I've always had this opinion on furries. As long as I've been making videos, I'd have the same consistent opinion on furries. And I was talking about furries in general. I wasn't talking about Abby in the slightest. That's like someone saying they don't like anime fans and me getting personally offended by it when it wasn't even about me. It was about a general group of people. That's what I was doing. I was doing the same thing. It was a general group of people. It wasn't directed at any one person. So I thought, I'm definitely not apologising to Abby for something that she chose to take personal offence at when it wasn't even about her. And Ash was like real uber aggressive about demanding that I apologise. Basically trying to act like Morgan should be exempt from criticism. No one should be ever allowed to criticise him, ever. I feel like Morgan had such a bad reaction to this because he is so used to being surrounded by people that just affirm, validate, and praise everything he says and does. Like, he is so used to being surrounded by people who just are always giving him, like, just massively ego boosting him. Because he has a gigantic ego. My God. He's surrounded by people always bigging him up, always making him feel better than everyone, always telling him he's amazing and that he could never do anything wrong ever. To me, that's not a friend group. That's more of a cult, because a cult is where you see people who don't think differently to each other on anything. They agree with each other on every single thing. That's a cult to me, not a friend group. And he was so used to that someone daring, someone being me, daring to critique any of his actions and behaviour was probably a shock to the system for him, because he's so used to just being told yes by everyone around him all the time. Always being affirmed and validated about everything he says and does, never being questioned by anybody on anything ever. So he of course had a really bad reaction to what I said, but so bad to as much as manipulating Ash, the only person from within that group that I was friends with, to turn on me and basically try and throw away the nearly 6.5 years of friendship that the two of us had had. So I did not back down on this. I argued back at Ash. I argued back at Ash, basically saying to her that no, I'm not going to apologise because I am right on what I'm saying. I know what I'm right, because everything I've said in that video, I took from Morgan's own video. Things from within his video. That's where I got the criticisms that I've made from. I didn't just make them up, as much as you probably believe that's what I did. I didn't. I did not just make them up. They came from his own video. because it's more like of, you know how with a lot of people you have to lie about them to make them look bad. In Morgan's case, it's the other way around. You actually have to lie about him to make him look good. He's one of those people, in my opinion, that people have to lie about him to make him sound like a good person. Because, oh boy, he certainly is not that. And I'll get on to why in a minute. So I argued back at Ash and basically told her that who does she think she is, that she thinks she has authority over me, that she can just try and bully me into apologising, for something that I know I'm in the right about, not the wrong. And basically, I said that to her, like, I said, how do you think you have some sort of authority over me? That's pretty controlling behaviour. And unfortunately, there's a few like quite toxic behavioural traits that Morgan has, and that is one of them. Thinking he has authority over everyone, which in his cult, because he is the cult leader, he kind of does have authority over everyone because they just blindly go along with whatever he says. So he actually does have authority over them. But because Ash had spent so much time around him, she thought that because that thing works for him, that if she acts like she has authority over someone, it'll do the same thing will just happen. Of course, that did. The only problem for her was she was trying to have authority over me. Nobody has authority over me. So when I argued this, she just basically blocked me on everything, and this is how the channel went back below to 15 subscribers. So she blocked me on everything, and I thought, okay, looks like the two of us are now not friends, all because she blindly believed whatever Morgan told her about me, despite the fact I've been friends with her more than double the length of time that he has. I thought, I guess that means clearly she didn't value my friendship very much if she can just turn on me like that. But about an hour and a half later, after she blocked me, she then went and unblocked me, and after all of the demanding for me to apologise to her, she ends up apologising to me, which I found very strange. I was like, wow, this has come out of nowhere. Just like her attacking originally came out of nowhere. Basically, two people that are close to Ash that were not involved in this situation basically talked some sense into her and made her realise that she'd A, massively overreacted to all of this, and B, blindly gone along with whatever Morgan said without forming her own opinion of the situation. So she apologised to me, and it took me a fair while to actually respond to her. But in the end, we did become friends again, and that the spat between us was over. Now let me get on to what I said earlier, why Morgan is not a good person. So in Tavi's comment that he put on my video, and feel free to read it for yourselves on my Get Your Geek On video, you won't have to scroll super far to find it. So in that video, in that comment that Tavi posted that's really long, he says a fair few things about my video. He says things like, I could have contacted Morgan before I made my video, laying out my criticisms with him, and he could have addressed them. Now, the thing is, Tavi is absolutely correct. I could have done that. He's right. He's absolutely right. But on the same, as well as he's absolutely right about that, I am also absolutely right in the fact that Morgan could have contacted me privately after watching my video, asking me why did I say what I said. Why did I say what I said to him? But he chose not to do that. He chose to get his cult together and lay attacks on me. Lay his attacks on, get them to attack me. So yes, as much as Tavi is absolutely right, so am I about he could have contacted me privately as well, but didn't. He said I could have contacted Morgan and had a civil conversation. Morgan is not the type of person you can have a civil conversation with if you disagree with him on even one thing. It's just not something that is possible. Morgan will only have a civil conversation with you if you already agree with him on everything, which I, of course, don't, not even in the slightest. But the big part of the comment that I want to address is he says that Morgan and Abby are lovely people who would never go out of their way to deliberately hurt someone. The thing is, with Abby, those two statements are probably more or less true, but neither of those statements are true in relation to Morgan. The first one, the lovely people one is not. Morgan is not a lovely person, and the reason why I know this is because on September the 10th, I know we're still in July, but trust me, this is relevant. September 10th, when Charlie Kirk got shot, you might remember, when I went onto Instagram, I saw a story from Morgan of him, and this is what he was doing, right? He was holding his phone up here, like this, and this is the face he was making when he made this video. He made that face, and the caption he had said, "Someone shot Charlie Kirk," with a heart and smile face emoji. I remember that plain as day. And I thought, wow. Just wow. Really? Mocking someone's death. And someone must have called Morgan out about this because he made another story addressing what he'd just done and trying to defend himself on why mocking someone's death is okay. He basically said that Charlie Kirk would have celebrated Morgan's death. Isn't true in the slightest. Just a straight up lie. There were 4 lines. I can't remember what the second one is. The third one says, "I've had to watch my trans brothers and sisters get slaughtered," whatever that means. And the last one says, "I see no humanity in a Nazi." And I thought, of course. Of course. Why am I not surprised? He's thrown out the old Nazi accusation because we've never heard anyone do that before. Charlie Kirk was A, not a Nazi, and B, wasn't even slightly close to a Nazi. His only real crime towards Morgan was, check notes, having a different opinion to him. Yeah, that is Charlie Kirk's sole crime to Morgan. Having a different opinion. And of course, unfortunately, in today's world, there are some people that believe if you have a different opinion to them, they think it's okay it's okay for you to be murdered. Yes, I said I would not talk about politics on this channel ever again. This is an exception. This is just an exception. I wouldn't have talked about this if he hadn't have done this. And the thing is, if you asked him, was he celebrating and mocking Charlie Kirk's death? He wouldn't even. I don't even think he'd deny it. He'd just straight up say, yeah. He probably wouldn't call it that. He'd call it something else. But he did straight up just do. That's what he did. I remember seeing it with my own eyes, and there'll be plenty of people that know him that saw this. For me, that should have been a lot of people who were friends with him. That should have been like a wake-up call for them. to realise, oh, this is the type of person he really is. Which, I mean, mocking someone's death, if it's not someone like, I don't know, like Hitler, Mao, Stalin, etc., you know, people like that, you know, dictators, if it's not people like that, like Charlie Kirk's sole crime, as I said, was having a different opinion. That is his sole crime, so why so many people were laughing and mocking his death. Like, all that shows is anyone who was doing that and still continues to celebrate Charlie Kirk's death and mock it is a vile and disgusting person. Toxic to the highest degree. So, no, Tavi, Morgan is not a lovely person because in my experience, a lovely person doesn't mock people's death, especially for having a different opinion. And the second bit being, Morgan and Abby would never deliberately go out of their way to hurt someone. Well, Abby probably wouldn't, but yes, Morgan absolutely would go out of his way to deliberately hurt someone, because that is exactly what he did to me. By manipulating Ash into trying to destroy mine and her friendship. That is him going out of his way to purposely and deliberately hurt someone. So, no, neither of those statements you've made about Morgan, neither of them are true. They're both factually incorrect. Like when Tavi makes these defenses of Morgan, when he's lying about him to make him sound good, I don't think he actually thinks he's lying. Like, he believes he's telling the truth. I don't think he's doing it, he's lying intentionally. But it's still a lie. And finally, that is July. Wow, I told you it'd be the longest month of the year. So, now... Oh wait, no, actually we're not even finished with July. One more thing. The England women won the 2025 Euros, beating Spain on penalties in the final, which is funny because it was a repeat of the Women's World Cup final from 2023 that Spain beat England in 2-1 or 1-0. It was by 1 goal. And then the England men, a year later at Euro 2024, lost that final to Spain as well. So England women getting revenge for themselves and for the men at the same time. Now on to August. So in August, it was the 1 year anniversary from when I started working. I'm not going to do this anniversary thing for every year. I'm just the 1 year anniversary. We won't go over it again in any other future one. Then the channel hit its next milestone, 220 subscribers we achieved, and Ash achieved 100 subscribers in August. Now, why would that be part of my year in review when it's not something I did? Well, a few reasons. One, because Ash is a good friend. Number two, because Ash last year and this year has been going so hard with her content. This year and last year are the 2 years where she's been uber consistent, more consistent than she's ever been before. She's gone really hard with her content, making new series like the Figure Fridays, the Shoujo Sundays. She did Vlogmas this month for the first time ever, which was fun. She started a weekly vlog series that she did a few videos on. She has gone so hard with her content this year, the past 2 years now, last year and this year, and so she deserves this achievement. That's all we have for August. For September, the channel hit 225 subscribers, so yet another milestone. I went to go see the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie with Ash as well. This was the first time me and her had hung out together since our spat. And We then hit 230 and 235 subscribers, so 3 milestones in 1 month. Then we move on to October. We hit another 2 milestones in 240 and then 245 subscribers. A lot of these subscribers were coming from the same video, which is how we were gaining so many. I then went to go see the Chainsaw Man Rize movie with Ash in October. And, well, if you watch my top 5 anime of the year list just under a week ago, you'll know I absolutely love this movie. Right, now on to November. I told you July would be the longest, now we're just speed running through them. So for November, it was the 1 year anniversary since I moved house. And last year I told you that moving house was one of the worst, most awful experiences ever. That opinion has not changed. It still was an awful experience. And do I hate living here, living where I do now as much as I did when we first moved? No, but I'm still not a great big fan of where I live now anymore. Yet. It's going to take a lot of convincing to make me actually like where I live now. Then the channel hit 250 subscribers, and this was important because A, 250 is a good milestone, but this also made it, so this made 2025 officially the channel's biggest and most productive year for subscriber growth ever. Previously, 2017 was the channel's most successful year in subscriber growth. We gained 30 subscribers. By hitting 200 and... when we hit 240 subscribers, that's when we overtook it. Not 50, geez, I'm way behind. 240 subscribers is when we officially when 2025 overtook 2017 as the most successful year in the channel's history for subscriber growth. And this year we've had the most views in a single year we've ever had before. Well over 15,000 views we've gained just this year. And so many of those views coming from just one video. Then we hit 255 subscribers, and we just keep hitting their milestones in November. Then I went to go see the Jujutsu Kaisen Execution movie with Ash at the cinema. I didn't really know what was going on because I gave up on Jujutsu Kaisen basically 10 episodes into season 1. Just wasn't my thing, so I didn't really understand what was going on most of the time. But it was fairly good for what I did watch. Then the channel hit 260 subscribers. So, the channel, at the time of recording, the channel is on 264 subscribers. So we could hit another milestone before the end of the year between me making this video and when it goes up. But we won't be able to talk about that in this video, so we'll have to save it for the anniversary video next year if we do hit it. And the last thing I have written on here is my video covering the anime Citrus, the stepsister Yuri anime, that I posted on Valentine's Day of last year, became the first video in the channel's history to reach 10,000 views. In October and especially November, that video just skyrocketed in views out of nowhere. Just like my ranking Team Fortress 2 classes video did from December 2022 onwards, where that video out of nowhere just started skyrocketing in views. This has had the same thing has happened here with Citrus, but to an even bigger extent. And that's where more than half of the subscribers we've gained this year have come from. So now I actually don't have anything written down for December because today at the time of recording it's actually just the 3rd of December. But I don't feel like I'm going to get a chance like this to record this video like this at any other point of the month, so I had to take the opportunity when it arose. I am going to be seeing Ash. Well, at the time of recording, the last thing I've got that I could have written down is seeing the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie with Ash, which I'll be doing in less than a week from when this video is being recorded, but this hasn't happened yet, so I can't say what the movie was like, because I don't know, because I haven't seen it yet. But that will conclude 2025, a year in review. Pretty much just as long as the very first year in review we did back in 2018. 55 minutes, how fitting. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and any other of the 31 other videos I've posted this year, as this has been the least amount of videos we've ever put up on the channel across 1 year. And yet it's the most views and subscribers we've ever gained in 1 year as well, so what does that tell me? Last thing I would want to say is that the videos there'll be brand new day and time of day scheduling for videos. So videos will no longer be going up at 2 PM UK time on Wednesdays anymore. Starting in 2026, videos will be going up on Saturdays at 5 PM UK time. So for the American viewers, and because I know there's a fair few of you, because my analytics told me, you'll have to work out what time of day 5 PM UK time is for you. And anyone from any other country doesn't live in the UK will also have to work out what that means for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you to Che, Connor and Rowan for being continued friends and going to the cinema with me at the start of the year. Thank you to Ash, as I've talked about her quite a lot in this video because she has been such a massive part of my 2025 and I wouldn't have had it any other way. So thank you to all of those people, and until we meet again in 2026, see you in the next one.